You found it. Your home for the best content on your favorite team, the Fighting Tigers of LSU. Do us a favor, subscribe to the channel, leave your comments below, and be sure to smash that like button. The LSU football program has announced their spring football dates. So mark it down, and it's going to be a really interesting spring. But LSU's announced spring dates, so they'll start on March the 5th. So a little less than a month away now. Yesterday, 1 month from yesterday, the start of spring football. So they've got all their dates, the 5th, 7th, 8th, 19th, 21st, 22nd, 23rd, 26th, 28th, and 6 dates in April as well. Spring game on April 13th. So again, mark it down. Spring starts on March the 5th, and then the spring game is April the 13th. We will talk much more about spring football as we get closer to it, and we'll obviously have our spring practice reports and bring you through it and everything. But I think just to, if I could bridge from bowl practice to now, remember, one of the things we talked about during the 15 bowl practices was Jaden Daniels opting out and why it was so important. And while, yes, selfishly, we all wanted Jaden to play in that bowl game, it was so much more important for this program and for Garrett Nussmeier for Jaden to opt out. Remember, it wasn't just the bowl game itself. It's the 15 practices. That was 15 practices where Garrett Nussmeier strapped on his helmet and went into the first team huddle every single rep. There was no confusion. There was no ambiguity. There was no question. There was no competition. Garrett Nussmeier's team. And he got to do that for 15 bowl practices and then to go play in a bowl game. And now spring is going to come along, and you're going to get to double that output and do it again. Basically, the bowl practice acted as a preamble to spring, and now you get to do it again. So by the time you get to fall camp, it's not just like, yeah, he got his feet wet in spring, and now we really got to ramp up. It's like you got your feet wet in bowl practice. And now this should feel like coming out of spring, Garrett's team totally comfortable, so you are sprinting whenever fall camp starts. So for me, that's the biggest storyline of spring. It's how much of an accelerant can you put on this offense with Garrett Nussmeier and Joe Sloan calling plays, as he did for the bowl game. It's an accelerant of the offense. The other thing, obviously, is what do you do on defense? I mean, you lost your top 3 interior defensive linemen. Omar Spates is gone. And I understand we're all very excited about Whit Weeks, but where and how does Harold Perkins fit into a defense called by Blake Baker? And then who wins jobs in the secondary? At least who positions themselves to win jobs for the start of fall camp coming out of spring? Because I think every job in the secondary is open. I don't think you could legitimately look at any single person in the secondary and say, yep, you've got a job. I mean, Major Burns has played a lot of football. He's back. But I can't tell you definitively I think he should be a starting safety. I mean, Sage Ryan has played nickel and corner. I don't know that I want him starting it either. Maybe he wins a job. Maybe. But I can't say definitively that I would take a Sharpie and scribble anyone's name in the secondary right now as a starter. Not one. Spring will be huge for that. See who at least positions themselves to be a starter for the start of fall camp. So anyway, LSU announced their spring football dates. They'll hit the practice field for the first time on March the 5th, and they'll wrap up with the spring game in Tiger Stadium on April the 13th. Mark it down. Hey, thanks so much for watching. Please leave your comments. I love to interact, and be sure to hit the red subscribe button below.